form of like a senior week experience. All right, well, I can pretty much guarantee you that I, out of all of us, have had probably the worst senior week experience. Because I went to Assateague Island, and I'll tell you all about it. My experience started with leaving 2 friends in charge of our senior week, and I don't know why we ended up leaving these 2 in charge, but of course, come around summer, we go up to these friends and they look at each other, they scratch their heads, and they say, "Oh, you wanted us to do that?" Well, we didn't really put anything together. So luckily, my friend, whom I will no longer speak with because of this suggestion, suggested that we go to Assateague Island. How many of you are familiar with Assateague Island? It is a place not made for humans, honestly. It's just terrible. Assateague Island is it's a strip of nothing but beach off the coast of Maryland. It's got an oceanside beach, and it has a bayside beach. So you can go surfing, well, not surfing, the waves are really small, but wave riding and then crabbing and clamming at night. Sounds like a great plan, and if that's not enough, there's horses, wild horses all over the island. I saw at least 30 wild horses during my trip. Well, that was probably the best part of it. But so we said, all right, that sounds like a plan. So we pack up, we head down, we begin to unpack, and we probably had about 5 minutes of just pure happiness. It was great. We were camping right on the beach, beautiful day out, it was great. And then it was like something out of a horror film. I'm standing here, all my friends are lined up, and one by one they start screaming, they're yelling, they're running. I can't figure out what it is, but it's getting closer and closer to me. But I'm panicking. I can't figure out what it is. And then suddenly it reaches me. What is it? It's a little tiny housefly. And I thought nothing of it. Why are my friends running around? But all of a sudden, this fly would land on my leg, and my leg just turned fire. I couldn't figure it out, but I was running, I was screaming, swearing profanities, having the worst time of my life. This went on for probably 2 hours, but we finally manned up, set our tent up, and figured out that they were only biting our legs, so we would just sit down, cover up with a towel, and all would be fine. And we're sitting for the whole day, but anything's better than being eaten alive by bugs, right? So we have dinner, having a good time, and then the night falls, and what insect comes out at night that just, yeah, mosquitoes. I don't know why they live on beaches, but they come out at night. And so it's like the horror film thing again. I'm sitting here, everyone's sitting around the fire, and then one by one people start screaming, running around, and being eaten alive by mosquitoes. There's no solution for this. You're not allowed to bring the insecticide that's going to repel them, but so we're having a terrible time. We end up trying to sleep in the tents, but these mosquitoes are so small that they can get through the netting somehow, so spend the whole night up. Second day rolls around, and there's no insects, which is a great thing. We can't figure this out, but then, of course, it starts downpouring, just all day, unrelenting. We're all soaked. Tents are soaked. We can't end up sleeping in the tents during the night, so we have to spend the night in the cars. So I'm crammed in I have an SUV, a Ford Explorer, so it's kind of spacious, but I have to share it with 3 other guys. And I can't figure out how this happened, but mosquitoes somehow got into my SUV, so I have to spend the entire night crammed in this tiny space with 3 other guys, mosquitoes constantly biting me. It's a terrible, terrible experience. The third day rolls around, and we just decided that we've had enough. We planned on being here for a week, but 2 days was enough. So we pack up, head back home, no more Assateague Island. From my experience during my senior week, I have had 2 major impacts on my life. First is my viewpoint on bugs. I simply won't tolerate them any longer. And the second is, it is now one of my many life goals to make sure that no one ever visits this place again. It's not a place made for humans. With that, I would like to thank you for your time.